All right, so let's start the revision for the next module today. So we'll be revising the next module, that is we'll be doing final account of companies. Okay, so for this, what you have to do, you have to understand what do we mean by final account of a company. Okay, final account of a company. So any idea about final account of a company? Of course you should have, because we have already completed this final account of companies. See, final account of companies is nothing but this is the end statement. Okay, these are the financial statement. These financial statements, just a second. Financial statements which are prepared at the end of the financial year is termed as what? Final account of a company. So basically, you see, whenever we talk about final account of a company, see, final account of a company includes. See, final accounts of companies, it includes, see, statement of profit and loss. We have balance sheet. Okay, we have cash flow statements. Okay, we have statement of changes in equity, and one more we can say we have explanatory notes. Explanatory notes. So final account or financial statement of a company means these are the statements by which or by the help of which we can take some or we can take certain decisions. Okay, final account is nothing but this is the end product of a company. Okay, okay, yeah, Kansh, yeah, he's here. So final account is nothing but these are the end product of a company. Okay, looking into which or going into which or going through which we can take certain decisions. Okay, now let's see the first financial statement or the first final account. You see, the first final account we have with us is that the balance sheet of a company. See, the balance sheet which we prepared, okay, which we prepared or which we you all prepared in your class 11th. Okay, was a what? Sole proprietor. It was just the what? It was just in a T format, isn't it? The asset side and the liability side. So balance sheet of a company is prepared as per Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013. Remember, balance sheet of a company is prepared as per Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013. Remember this. Okay, so balance sheet or the financial statement of a company is prepared as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. So we have a prescribed format for this. Okay, so this is the format which you have to follow, which you have to learn, which you have to understand for what? For the balance sheet of a company. So basically, you see, we have at the beginning, you see, we have equity and liabilities. Wait, see, the balance sheet of a company is divided into two parts. So this is what our equity and liabilities part, and just below this we have asset side. Okay, we have two parts, equity and liabilities. You see, first of all we have equity and liabilities, and under equity and liabilities we have shareholders fund. So shareholders fund is nothing but these are the balances of various or different accounts which belongs to our shareholder. Okay, that is what shareholders fund is. Okay, that is what our shareholders fund is. So in this category, the first thing is that we have share capital. So share capital is nothing but this is the total of all the what value of shares that company have issued. Okay, so we have different types of shares. We have equity shares, we have preference shares. Okay, so the total of all equity and preference shares are reflected here or are shown under this category, share capital. All right, just a second. Okay, let's get back. So under share capital, we'll get all the total of our what share that the company have issued. Okay, so it will include equity shares, it will include preference shares. Okay, so next, under shareholders fund, the next category or the next item is what we have: reserve and surplus. Okay, so reserve and surplus is nothing but this is the heading or the subheading under which various reserves, balances of various reserves and balances of various surpluses are reflected. So you see, just below this, what I have done, I have explained all the things. You see, so in share capital, we'll get total of our equity share, total of our preference shares. Okay, and in reserve and surplus, we'll have balances of various accounts. So various accounts, namely, you see, we have balances of general reserve, balances of securities premium reserve, balances of debenture redemption reserve, capital redemption reserve, surplus or deficit in statement of profit and loss, etc. Okay, so these are the items or these are the subheadings which will be included or which will be shown under the heading reserve and surplus. So in examination, what you have to do, you might get some questions like, say for example, general reserve. Okay, so while preparing balance sheet of a company, general reserve is shown under which category, or it is shown under which heading. So you might get some options or you have to write. Okay, so the correct option or the correct answer would be what? Reserve and surplus. So the heading under which general reserve or security stream reserve are shown or reflected is reserve and surplus. Okay, so balance sheet is nothing but this is a statement where all the assets and liabilities of companies are reflected. Okay, A and B done. Next we see number C, money received against share warrant. You see, whenever shares are issued, okay, whenever shares are issued to the public, those who purchases shares, they become the shareholder, and money paid by them are reflected or are shown under the heading what? Share capital. But in some cases, it might so happen that company may issue what? Share warrant. Okay, may issue what? Share warrant. So in that case, that particular person or that particular individual will not become shareholder immediately, but at a later date, the person will become what? Shareholder in the company. So in that cases, I mean, in such cases, whenever company issues what? Share warrant, instead of issuing direct shares, the money collected by issuing share warrants will be reflected or will be shown under the heading money received against share warrant. All right. Next, we have number 2. Here you see share application money pending allotment. So here you see, in some cases, what might happen, you see, a company may issue shares. Yes, and you all know that whenever company issues shares, the amount of money is not collected immediately. Okay, it is collected in installment. Say for example, a company issued 2000 equity shares of rupees 10 each, and this rupees 10 is not collected at once, it is collected in installments. Say for example, on application rupees 2, on allotment rupees 3, and the balance means let's make it 5 on first and final call. Okay, on first and final call. So total amount is what? 10. Now say for example, in certain cases, it might so happen that the company have taken the application money, okay, and on the date of closure or on the date of closing of balance sheet, the company have not allotted shares to that particular individual or that particular group of shareholders, okay, individuals. So in that case, what will happen? You see, we can say that the company have collected the application money, but in return the company have not allotted the shares. Company has not what? Allotted the shares. So in such case, the amount collected through application will be reflected or will be shown under the heading what? Share application money pending allotment. Pending allotment means share application money have been received, but allotment is still what? Pending. Okay, so in order to reflect this, I will have a question here. You see, this is a question which I have prepared Google form, okay, for your revision. So in this you have one question. I have included one question here. Just give me a second. I think I have included somewhere. Let me check. Okay, SPR, remuneration paid, dividend in balance sheet, share capital under heading provision. Yeah, you see question number 7, you can see the shares of equity and preference that have been issued but the allotment is pending as on the date of balance sheet, it's presented under which heading in balance sheet? So here the correct option would be what? Share application money pending allotment. That is what I have explained you just now. Okay, share application money pending allotment is the category or is the heading where the amount received from application is shown but upon which the allotment is not made. So this is what the related question we have in the Google form, question number 17. I have added this question here. I just recall and thought of showing you this. Okay, so in this way we'll move on to the next category or the next part, that is we have, you see, non-current liabilities. Okay, non-current liabilities and current liabilities. See, we have two types of liabilities. One is current, other is non-current. Now, what is current and non-current liabilities? See, liabilities may be of two types. One may be current, other may be non-current. Any idea? Can you recall, Dipanjali? Current liability and non-current liability? See, current liabilities means what? We need to pay it off. Okay, we need to pay it off, pay off. Or we can say need to pay off. Rather, it will be better if I write need to pay off. Okay. Liability means these are the amount which we need to pay off. Okay. So the amount that is need to be pay off may be current or non-current. Current means less than 1 year. Less than 1 year means the liabilities which we need to pay it off or pay off before 1 year, then less than 1 year, and current liabilities means more than 1 year. More than 1 year. So current liabilities are the liabilities which we have to pay it off within 1 year, and non-current liabilities are the liabilities which we need to pay it off after 1 year, or we have sufficient time to pay it off. We have more than 12 months of period. Okay, that is what current and non-current liabilities. So under non-current liabilities, you see we have different categories. We have long-term borrowings. So long-term borrowings is what? Long-term borrowings are nothing but these are the borrowed money or the money which the company have borrowed for a period more than 1 year. So these include debentures, bank loan, public deposits. Okay, you see here I have shown. See, non-current liabilities. So under non-current liabilities, these are the liabilities which are to be repaid or returned due, okay, for more than 1 year. So under long-term borrowings, we have debentures, we have bank loan, we have public deposit, bonds. These are some examples of our what? Non-current liabilities, that is long-term borrowings. All right. So similarly, we have different what? Borrowings. Next we have, you see, deferred tax liability. So deferred tax liability is nothing but if our assessed tax is less than the tax which we actually need to pay, it is termed as deferred tax liability. Okay, other long-term liabilities and long-term provision. So the important part here you have long-term provision. So I repeat, provision, long-term provision, and here you have, you see, short-term provision. So short-term provision you will find under current liabilities. See, provision, first of all you have to understand what do we mean by provision. See, provision is nothing but keeping aside a sum of money, isn't it, for some known reason. As I explained earlier also, provision is nothing but keeping aside. Okay, we need to keeping aside a sum of money, sum of money. Okay, see, long-term provision means keeping aside a certain sum of money which is need to be paid or which we need to what utilize after more than 1 year, and short-term provision less than 1 year. So here you have some examples of long-term and short-term provisions. So this is very much important. Okay, You must understand this. See, long-term provision includes, long-term provision, it includes provision for provident fund, provision for employees benefit, provision for gratuity. So these are some examples of long-term provision, means keeping aside a sum of money for some known reason which need to pay off after long period of time. So similarly, we have, you see, short-term provision. Short-term provision is nothing but keeping aside a sum of money for some known reason which we need to pay it off within 1 year. So this include, you see, these are some very important examples: provision for taxes, provision for doubtful debt, etc. So here provision for income tax is very much important. You might get repeatedly. Okay. Acha. Do one thing, just go through all the liabilities as of now. If you have any doubt in any of this category, just ask me. Okay, then we'll move to asset side. All right, and after that we have a Google form that we will solve in this class. All right, just go through. If you have any doubt in any of the liabilities, any of the items in this part, ask me, or else we'll move to next. Just recall what we did: current liabilities and non-current liabilities. Okay, then we shall move to our asset category. Then we will revise the Google form. Okay, revise means we'll solve the Google form. Chalo. So we have here asset side. So in asset side we have, you see, non-current and current asset. So under non-current asset we have fixed assets. So under fixed assets we have tangible, intangible, capital work in progress, and intangible asset under development. So here you see fixed asset. So under fixed asset we have tangible assets. So tangible assets are nothing but these are the assets which can be seen, which can be touched, isn't it? So like plant, machinery, building, furniture, okay, fixtures. These are some examples of our tangible asset. And intangible assets: goodwill, patent, trademark, copyright, okay, some kind of logos, secret formulas. These are what? Our intangible assets. Okay, capital work in progress. Now what is capital work in progress? See, building is considered as tangible asset. Okay, means complete building is considered as intangible asset, I mean tangible asset. But you see, for on the date of balance sheet, just the foundation of the building have been laid. Okay, on the date of balance sheet, just the foundation of the building have laid. So till now the building is not completed. So in such case we can't say that these foundations are our building, and hence we can't consider them as our tangible asset. But we have spent some amount of money, we have invested some amount of money for what? The construction of these pillars or the foundations. So we should consider this also in our balance sheet. So these items will be considered as our what? Capital work in progress, means tangible asset, but these are under development. That is what? Capital work in progress. Similarly, you have intangible asset under development. Say some kind of secret formula, secret formula, or some kind of, you know, softwares. So these are considered as our intangible asset. But if some kind of secret formula, secret recipe, or some kind of softwares are still under development, which will have a very, you know, remarkable impact in the future, that will be considered as our intangible asset in the future rather. Okay, but the completion process is not yet arrived, or these secret recipes, formulas, or softwares are not completed yet. So hence we can't consider them as our intangible asset. But some amount of money have been invested, through research and development in this category. So hence this need to be recognized and shown in our balance sheet. So the thing is, the question is where we shall reflect, or where we shall show these items. So these items will be shown under the category or under the heading intangible assets under development. So these are some intangible assets which are still under development. All right. Okay. Next, am I clear till now? Zubair, Akansh, Dipanjali. Okay. Next, we have see non-current investment. Okay. Yes. You see non-current investment. So before this, you have to understand what does investment mean. Now see, what does investment mean? So why we do investment? Okay. So there may be some, just a second. There may be different reasons for which we might do investment. Okay. See, investment may be done for some kind of capital appreciation, or investment may also be done for earning regular return. Okay, for earning regular return. First objective of doing investment is to earn what? Capital appreciation in the future. And next objective is to what? Earn regular return from that investment. So investment may be also classified into two categories. You might see here. You see, we have non-current investment here, and we have current investment in current assets. So non-current investments are generally long-term investment which we do not for earning regular returns, but for what? Earning some kind of capital appreciation. Say for example, I have purchased a share of ₹100 in a startup or in a new company. So I purchased 2000 shares of ₹10 each on today's date. It means I have invested 20,000 rupees, isn't it? So this is an investment which I did for my what? Long term. For what? Long term, because the value of this share will not increase overnight. I have to wait for more than, say for example, 3 to 4 years, or in some cases, if it's a newly startup, okay, it might take 10 to 20 years also. So the investment which I have made here of ₹20,000, this I have made by what? Keeping my long-term goal. So this is my long-term investment. This is my long-term investment. So such investments will be categorized or will be shown under the category non-current investment. So generally investments are non-current only if it is not mentioned in the question. Okay. Now, similarly, we have current investment. So current investment is nothing. These are the investment which is done for what? A regular return or short-term investments. Okay. In short-term marketable securities. Okay. Where you can redeem immediately. Chalo. Next, you see, after this, we have deferred tax assets. So deferred tax liability we have done, and this is what deferred tax asset. So deferred tax asset is nothing but this is the value of tax which I have paid. Okay, the excess tax which I have paid, the excess tax which we have paid or the company have paid over the actual tax, means excess of tax paid. This is what our deferred tax asset. This much you have to understand. Next, we have long-term loans and advances. See, long-term loans and advances is under the category of our asset. So long-term loans and advances, these are nothing but these are the value or these are the amount which the company have granted or given to some other party or third party. All right. Just see, go through all the other categories here. Okay. All the other categories here. Just try to recall. Then I shall ask some questions. If you have doubt, ask me, or else I will ask some questions from here. Okay. Zubair, are you going through?
Yes, sir, catching up.
All right, great. So after this, we have, you see, I'm just going through some important parts only. Yeah. Okay. Important categories or important headings in this balance sheet. Now, next we have here under current assets, we have current investments, which I have already explained. Next, we have inventories. Now, what does inventories mean? So inventories. So 5 things made of inventories. What are those 5 things? When we club or when we add 5 things, they become inventories. What were those 5 things? Just recall. Farhan, Juvair, Akans, Dipanjali. 5 things they made of inventories. What are those 5 things? You see, try to recall. Okay, I'll just open up this page and you try to find it out. Inventories. See, try to find out inventories. Inventories may include what? They may include, I mean, they will include, in fact, 5 things. What are those 5 things? You can find the answer here in this page. Inventories are made of 5 things, which I explained. Inventories are made of 5 things, and these are raw materials, finished goods, okay, work in progress, loose tools, and spare parts. Here it is. Okay, so inventories are made of 5 things. So inventories include raw materials, finished goods, work in progress, loose tools, and spare parts. So here I have given you some examples. Some means one example of Suzuki Limited. Okay, so the main material by which cars are manufactured. So we have taken an example of Suzuki company. Okay, Maruti Suzuki, we can say. Okay, so the main materials by which car is manufactured, that is raw material. Okay, spare parts. Okay, see, the main material by which the car is manufactured, that is raw material. Cars ready to sell means cars which are lying in what? Our stockyard, that is finished product or finished goods. Plus you see manufacturing of car in progress. Okay, means inventory, so raw materials which are what? Just inside the processing, but they have not been completed yet. These are known as work in progress. Akans, you have asked me something. You asked me spare parts. Okay, I'll tell you. Let's see. Next, we have screws and small components. These are termed as loose tools and spare parts. Spare parts are what? These are just the accessories which these are the accessories which we get with the car. Say for example, in a car, spare parts will be, say for example, tires, isn't it? So tires, the company doesn't manufacture. So in Maruti Suzuki, you might get tires of MRF or C8. So these tires, the car doesn't manufacture. Rather, they what? Outsource these tires to some other tire manufacturing companies. Because if the car manufacturing company starts manufacturing tires also, okay, it won't be worthy for them. That is why some components, some accessories, what they do, they purchase from third party. So for example, Apple also, isn't it? What they do, all the components they do not purchase, they do not manufacture. Samsung, okay, television manufacturing companies, okay, they do not manufacture the whole component, just assembly is done on their part, isn't it? So this is what our spare parts. Some other parts, some parts which is not manufactured by the company, but rather purchased from some third parties. So these are what? Accessories of the company, which will be considered as our spare parts, which will also be included while valuation of our inventories. Yes. All right, then. So let's move to the other categories. Okay, other items. Next, we have after inventories, we have trade receivables. So trade receivables are nothing but this will include our debtors. Okay, I have given the explanation part here. Trade receivables. So trade receivables means the amount receivable from our what? Customers. Okay, so for example here trade receivables will include sundry debtors and bills receivables. Okay, so after this, next we have cash and cash equivalent. See, cash and cash equivalent is nothing but the items like cash and items which is not exactly cash but equal to cash, means equivalent to cash. That is what cash and cash equivalent. So cash and cash equivalent will include cash in hand, cash at bank, checks and drafts in hand. Means at any point of time if we need to convert these items or convert these things into cash, we can easily convert. That is what the feature of our cash equivalent. So cash and cash equivalent means these are the items or these are the things which is equal to cash. That is what cash and cash equivalent. So cash and cash equivalent will include cash in hand, cash at bank, checks and drafts in hand. All right. All right, so now just go through this remaining parts. Short-term loans and advances. So you have long-term loans and advances in our non-current asset, and here you have short-term loans and advances. So if the company have granted some kind of short-term loans or advances to some other parties, okay, it will be considered as our short-term loans and advances. And lastly, we have other current assets. So assets which doesn't fulfill or doesn't appear in any of the above asset category, they will be classified as our other current asset. All right. Chalo. So taking this balance sheet as our base. Okay, for this chapter, what we shall do, I have a Google form with me so that we can give a good practice here. Okay, so I'll be sending this link to you. Need not to worry. Just go through the questions that we have plotted here and try to solve. Okay, so what could be the possible answer for the first? Okay, final account of a company include, you see, statement of P&L, balance sheet. So answer will be both of the above. Okay, both. See, final account will include, see, and in the beginning only today what I did, I have explained you what actually financial statement mean. Okay, so financial statement includes, oh, I have removed that part. So financial statement includes balance sheet, statement of profit and loss, cash flow statements, statement change in equity, explanatory notes. All these things are considered as what? Our final account of a company, means accounts which are prepared at the end. So answer will be both. Okay, next number 2,